Okay, I've gathered you all here today to talk about rehabbing a rescue dog. My focus will be on pit bulls. They are what I advocate for. I'm going to start with an example of a dog taken from a bad situation and put into a good situation. Cesar Millan is a very famous dog trainer who is infamous for rehabilitating issue dogs and making them into good, reliable companions and therapy dogs. Excuse me. One of these stories is the story of Sonic. Sonic was taken from a neglect situation and was being held in a municipal facility during trial. During this process, the facility filled up and Sonic was placed with another dog that he was brought in with. First few days, everything was fine. And then Sonic and this other dog got into a horrible fight. Sonic was found to be at fault and was deemed not safe to be released into the public. He could only be released to a rehab facility that was capable of caring for him. This facility was Cesar's Dog Psychology Center. Cesar had Sonic for close to a year, working with him, rehabbing him, retraining him to act appropriately and to be calm and submissive. Nearing the end of his rehab now, Sonic is now working at not South Bay. He's working with Paws for Veterans, and he's being trained to be a service dog for a combat injured veteran. This example shows you that a dog that was in a poor situation, he came from a neglect situation, he came from being put into a shelter with another dog, both being unaltered, was only going to lead to a fight. Taken out of that situation, being properly handled and trained and in a proper situation, and Sonic is now a service dog. He's making a huge impact on one of our veterans' lives. Part of rescuing a rehab is time, consistency, commitment. Rescues aren't always easy to do. You don't know their history. You don't know where they came from. You don't know anything that's happened to them in their previous life. All you can do now is move them forward and try to prevent anything from happening that could further injure the dog or another dog or, heaven forbid, even a human. Some of these dogs can't be rehabbed. Some are too far gone. Some are too far set in their ways that they can't seem to let go of that want to do what they were trained to do originally. I have done rescues and rehabs for the last 10 years. My last rescue was a foster fail. I was not supposed to keep this dog. I was only supposed to have him long enough to get him trained enough to be able to place him into another home, confident that he's not going to hurt himself or someone else. 6 months into it, we had a major breakthrough with this dog, and I fell in love with him. I couldn't let him go. He became my dog. He still to this day is a mama's boy. We knew nothing of Face when we brought him home. All we knew is he was on his way to the pound. We were told later that he was a drug dealer's dog that had tried to make him extremely mean, and there's nothing mean in this dog. He is scared of a water bottle. He's scared of flies. Now, he'll chase the bees, but he's scared of the flies. It took close to a year of retraining this dog to get him to have any kind of manners, to be able to take him out in public and not worry about his actions. We did eventually get him neutered, which was an instantaneous change in not only his demeanor, but his behavior. And since then, we have come leaps and bounds in his training, improving him every day. He's a good dog now. Another example that I want to bring up, many of us know about the Michael Vick case. and that those dogs were taken out of that situation and put into rescues, and many were rehabbed, and many have gone on to do great things. This is one of their stories. Leo was one of Vic's champion fighters. When Leo was rescued, he was close to 2 years old. Scars all over him. He couldn't be trusted. There was nothing to trust in that dog, but that he would hurt another dog or himself. Our Pack Rescue in California brought him in, worked with him for a year. The founder of Our Pack, McClarty, I believe her last name is, took Leo in as her own dog and rehabbed him, and spent a good year, year and a half working with him. The last 5 years of Leo's life were the best years Leo had ever lived. She got him working as a therapy dog at South Bay Hospital. 2 months into his therapy work, he was being called Doc Leo because children were just healing, just simply from spending time with a dog who was willing to sit there with his head on their lap and give those big brown eye loves. Leo made a huge impression not only on the doctors and nurses that he worked with and the patients that he dealt with on a regular basis, but also he made huge impression changes in the public opinion of these dogs, because the public didn't see these dogs as ever being capable of being nice. But coming from such a high-profile case like the Michael Vick case here at Bad News Kennels, and making such a miraculous change, he inspired others to try and make this change. He inspired other owners to step up and really work with their dogs appropriately and be responsible owners. There are 3 key elements to doing a rescue: exercise, discipline, and then affection. Without those 3 things, no dog can be rehabilitated. No dog can act like they have common sense or manners. But given these 3 items in appropriate proportions at the right time, you're bound and set up to have a great dog in your life. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Have a good day.